Hey readers, thanks for tuning in to Books in the Park. Wanted to talk today about a book that I recently finished called Nature Girl by Hiassen. This is the first Hiassen book that I ever read. I recently read a profile of him in The Atlantic, and I didn't know much about him other than that he had a ton of books. They had, bright covers and kind of like interesting, graphics on the front. Honestly, my assumption was just that he was, some kind of pop writer that, people loved, and but it wasn't really ever something that had sparked my interest. But then reading the profile about him, I just thought that he seemed to be a very interesting character as an author, and he lives in Florida, and I think that most of his novels are about Florida, and this one that I read, Nature Girl, takes place in Florida. And basically the background is that a woman, a single mom in Florida, gets a phone call during dinner, and the person on the other end is trying to sell her some property, and he's rude, and it sets her off. And from there, we're brought into, it's just a wacky, funny adventure involving her, the phone salesman, and several other people. And it was just an absolute fun read, and I feel bad that I never read Hiassen before, because this was I don't know if it's an easy, fun writing style, and I laughed. It was just wacky, but I also think that even though it wasn't anything that I was like, that was just like twisting my brain up to get through, I do think it like reveals something about America and American people, and there is definitely a depth to it, even though it's not a difficult read. And yeah, it was great. I don't want to say that it was, it didn't have anything in common with Stephen King from a, like a content standpoint, but I think just a readability standpoint, it's sort of like in sort of that sort of writing style, easy to get into, easy to get attached to the characters, fun, and I look forward to reading Hiassen again. I think if you're looking for an author, it's summertime now. If you're heading down to the beach or the lake, or just taking some time off and want to read a book, I got through this one real quick. I would highly recommend it, not just as a book, but just like on an individual basis, but highly recommend it for a summer read. And I look forward to reading more of his stuff. It was completely accidental that I got into him. I read that profile, and then as part of a local book challenge at my library, I had to read a book with a pink cover, and I kind of remembered that his books had, brightly covered covers, and so I looked through the catalog and found that one. So totally random, but I'm totally happy and glad that I did. I look forward to reading another one of his in the future. Have you read any of his novels? If so, let me know down below what I should read next. Thanks for tuning in to Books in the Park. Happy reading.